Hey, what's up, guys? And welcome to Should You Play Grand Theft Auto 5 PC? Did you ever think I was going to say that? Did you ever think that was actually going to happen? Delay after delay, late announcement, almost 2 years after the PlayStation 3 version came out. And here we go. We can walk outside into Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, this is not going to be your traditional should you play review type video. Now, this is mainly because this is a game that's almost 2 years old. There's no point me doing that because you know that the game's good. If you've played it before, which you most probably have, then you'll know that there's a whole plethora of things to do. It's a game that's going to last you a long time. And for the £40 asking price, you know you're going to get your value for money when it comes to gameplay. I'll be talking about the PlayStation, the PS. I'll be talking about the PC version, how it performs, This is terrible. How the PC version performs, whether you should be playing it, and just if there's any issues, letting you know what they are, just so you can come into this game knowing exactly what you're getting, which is quite nice. It's something that we don't often get. We normally get a game actually like Mortal Kombat at the moment, which trying to click play and it doesn't work. That is an issue that apparently is just kind of half deliberate. It's not yet unlocked, but hopefully there aren't any issues with this game at all, and you can come into it knowing that everything is going to work. So does it? Does everything work? Well, I haven't really had any issues thus far. The only issue I've had is with the benchmark. If you try and launch the benchmark, it tried to launch the story at the same time, and then I managed to fail. Believe it or not, I managed to fail the benchmark. If you go on my Twitter at PCcentric, I did put a screenshot of this, and you can just see it says you left your crew behind. Well, I tried to launch a benchmark, so that was quite a funny error. But other than that, haven't really had any issues. But the options menu. This is something that us PC players get to play with, and there are plenty of things to play with. You can use a gamepad or a mouse and keyboard. You can use both at the same time. If you're wondering whether the mouse and keyboard controls are any good, let me tell you that yes, they are. Yes, they jolly well are. I've been playing with the keyboard and mouse for the majority of my playthrough. If you want to do any shooting, of course it's the much better option. If you want to be driving and shooting at the same time, again, it's the much better option. It's quite a casual game at times, as I'm sure you know, so using a controller for doing your casual driving like I do is probably a good idea, but it's nice that we have the choice. Plenty of options, plenty of options. I can't really remember how many options there were in the PlayStation 3 game, but I'm sure there weren't that many, and I'm sure there aren't this many in the PS4 and Xbox One's versions either. Of course, because this is the PC, we have the freedom to pick our graphics settings, pick our resolution, and pick our frame rate. If you want to run it at something like 4K, you're going to need a beastly rig. You can actually cap. If I show you here, if you go into VSync, you can actually go to half. So if you want to run the game at 30 frames a second, then you can do that quite easily and be able to bump up your settings. DirectX version, we only have 10.1 and 11 to pick from, as well as 10. I don't think there's going to be many people using 10, unless you can't use DirectX 11 for any reason. I would strongly recommend sticking with DX11. Resolution, I'm playing on a 16:9, no I'm not, I'm playing on a 21:9 monitor, so at the moment I'm windowless, borderless moding it. Output monitor, always like to see this. If you've got multiple monitors and you want to switch it, great. You don't need to muck about with your NVIDIA or AMD control panel or Catalyst panel. Our options, we've got TXAA, if you've got an NVIDIA card, as well as FXAA and MSAA. Not the best methods. The TXAA is what I will use on 1080p, but I'll just use FXAA for the sake of performance if I'm running it on a higher resolution such as 4K or Quad HD in a 21:9 aspect ratio. Density and scaling and things like that, these are the things you're going to want to turn down if you are having performance problems, as well as plenty of options when it comes to textures, shaders, shadows, all that sort of things. I've brought them down in the interest of having higher frame rates, but of course you can customize this to your liking. It's going to be quite easy for you to get a 30 frames a second or 60 frames or 120, 144 frames a second cap, because you've got so many options to pick, and there are only, I don't know, maybe about a third of them will send you back to restarting the game. They say, sorry, you need to restart the game in order to do this. but some of them you can change on the fly. Advanced settings, these really do tax your system. I turn them all on and then quickly turn them all off. I lost about 30 to 40 frames a second at Quad HD. But if you're running on 1080p and you have a really powerful card, then this is going to be some options you can do to really dial it up. And if you want to, say, have a Titan X or multiple graphics cards in SLI or Crossfire, these are going to be the options that you'll be able to turn up to get better visual fidelity. I really like the fact that if you go into the audio mode and if you have surround sound, you can't do it at the moment for some strange reason, but you can actually customize where your speakers are in the room, so it will give a better sort of sense of realism because sounds will come out from the right place. But as you can see, there's plenty of options, and anyone, well, no one, I dare you to be disappointed with the amount of options that you have here. I mean, maybe there's no field of view slider, if you, as far as I can tell, if you want to play it in first person mode, but this isn't really going to be an issue for you, to be honest, because you can just play in third person mode. First person mode is cool, but it's not really for me. It just makes things a lot harder. But I mean, it's one of those games you can just lose yourself in a different sort of world, so first person view can be pretty cool, but it's not something I would be using, to be perfectly honest. Though that said, this does look pretty cool. So there's a plethora. I was going to say it, but then I was like, realised I'd already said it. But yeah, there are a real plethora of features and game modes and things to do. The online section I'll probably cover in a separate video because it's going to vary from game to game, and it's going to just take a long time for me to see how good the servers are, so it's not fair for me to really do that at the moment. But if you want to play story mode on GTA, then this really is the definitive version. Graphics look pretty damn good. I mean, I think it's still quite obvious it's a last generation game. It's not like one of these current generation games now that you can really tell that they push the boat out, but you've got so many different features you can turn on and off. This really is a brilliant game to look at, and Rockstar always do a great job of making games look good, but this one, bearing in mind how big the game is and how just big the scope of the game is, then it's great because you can customize this to your PC. It's probably one of the best games I've ever played for actually customizing the settings and getting a experience that's unique to you. Anyone will be able to cap this at a frame rate and get rid of most of their tearing and most of their stutter. It really is going to be quite easy for you to do, and that's the main thing you want from the PC version, really. You want something that's customizable, you want something that you can alt tab out of and you can play with all your friends. You can have, say, like Skype open at the same time, and you can do that really easily. So now I'm just going to switch to there we go. See, that's how easy it is. Mouse and keyboard. Now I'm going to change back to the controller. Brilliant. This really is the definitive version, and if you're wondering, should I be playing GTA? Well, I think, to be honest, it's a pretty solid yes, no matter what your situation is. The only time I can think maybe this isn't going to be the best time for you is if you... Oh, did I? Oh, no, I did get him. Yeah, let's just make sure he's dead. The only time I might say maybe it's not worth buying is if you've got the PlayStation 4/Xbox One copy, because obviously that came out not very long ago. But whether you played the PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360 version, whether you... I don't know, really. It's just one of those games that I think you need to have in your library, and there's going to be some really cool mods, no doubt, like you had with GTA 4. Easy. There we go. Easy. So, no matter what your system is, no matter what your control scheme is, you're going to have a great time with this. The system requirements aren't too big, but if you have the system requirements, you can crank it up, and you can have an absolutely brilliant experience with Grand Theft Auto. If you really have been living in a cave and have no idea whether the game itself is any good, let me start by saying it really is. You're going to get a stupid amount of gameplay out of it. The gameplay is incredibly filled with so much variety. Cutscenes are great. Story's great. Radio's great. It's just great. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to waste your time and go on. Oh. Okay, I don't think that was meant to happen. All right, maybe we're not completely bug-free. But yeah, no. Before I was rudely interrupted. The game itself is great, and apart from a minor issue here and there, which I'm sure will get patched very quickly, there's not really much reason not to pick it up, apart from if you don't like Grand Theft Auto. So yeah, that pretty much sums up this video. I don't want to waste your time by talking about stuff you don't need to know, and stuff that you've heard before. But if you're wondering whether you should pick it up, then it's a solid yes. So, that has been Should You Play Grand Theft Auto? Oh, maybe I have to... Oh no. I'm just a bit lost now. I was a bit thrown off by that failure. Oh well. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Give it a like if you've liked it and thought it was useful and told you everything you need to know. If it wasn't, likewise, leave a dislike. That's probably why. I meant to catch Franklin and he died. That would explain it. Still not really sure why the cutscene fired, but whatever. Mortal Kombat X. That video should hopefully be with you very, very soon, if not already, depending on when you're watching this video. Yeah, that was meant to happen. There we go, that's a lot better. So yeah, Mortal Kombat X video should be coming very shortly, as well as the full review of the LG UC97 ultra-wide quad HD curved monitor. So thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe if you haven't already for more videos like this, as well as others on PCs, gaming and technology. And I will see you in the next video.